Okay, here we are, day 4, and it's time for Black Christmas, the remake. I'll get to the original, don't worry about that, don't flood the comment section with, where's the original. Now, I really did enjoy the original. I'll get into that, later when I actually do the original. Now, when I first saw the cast, this movie to me almost kind of screamed kind of like a cheap pseudo TNA, just like sweater meat filled slasher flick. And for most cases that actually is. But this one is brutal. Eyeball eating, eyeball gouging, lots of fairly inventive deaths, but then again, I think the people who worked on Final Destination also worked on this movie. And this kind of has your fairly standard. You had a kid who was born on Christmas who looked different. Most people say it was jaundice because he had yellowed skin. Mom didn't really love him. He witnessed, his father being killed by mother and boyfriend. He was kind of locked in the attic because freak kid kind of gets treated like crap. And like most kids, when you don't have any sort of love and you come from a really bad background, you'll eventually, butcher and eat your family by turning them into gingerbread cookies. And then, of course, you go into an insane asylum, which, ironically, I think these sorts of people go into different insane asylums. They go to the ones that are heavy lockdown. You don't think in movies they would realize if we put the people who are super crazy in places they can easily escape, they easily escape. So the difference between this one and the original, you get a lot more background on the character, on the killer. I love candy cane killing scenes because let's be honest, if you've ever been in college and you're like, man, dude, I want to make a shiv, candy canes make excellent shivs because when you were a kid and you suck on a candy cane, you'd get that really sharp point. You cut your tongue like, that's really sharp. Think about that now, full grown dude. Shivving a candy cane. Excellent. Great. You need to see more of that in holiday-based, horror flicks. The acting is above standard for a B-grade horror movie. This one had an actual release and all, but still it's fairly bleh when it comes to overall acting. The characters are somewhat defined, for your typical sorority-style setting. And, it's very gory, and it gives you a decent amount of background on the killer itself. Wow, that sounds a lot like another remake. I'll touch this briefly in this one. Lots of people look at Halloween as a blatant ripoff of Black Christmas. I'll just leave it at that. So now picture your remakes. The remake of Halloween, the remake of Black Christmas. You get a much greater in-depth on the killer itself. But anyways, back to the movie at hand. This one actually is pretty good. It seems like it should be TNA horror flick. Anything in a sorority normally gives you that this is going to be kind of cheesy. The acting's probably going to be poor. None of the cast really screams out like A-list actress. But it's good. It's enjoyable. It is a stalk and slash, but there's enough characterization to each person that you can care about them enough. They are fairly cookie cutter, but they've got enough depth to them that when they actually die, you can go, oh, that kind of sucks. You feel some empathy, not a lot. I mean, you're not going to be emotionally attached to these characters, but you're going to feel enough to be you'll feel some remorse. Oh man, so-and-so died. So there is some empathy. The acting actually is fairly good. And, if you have an opportunity to, if you're trying to fill in some Christmas horror, Black Christmas actually is fairly good. Both ones. I'll do the review of the original later on. Now I've done, Gremlins, now Black Christmas, 2 good ones. And I've also done, Jack Frost, Wind Chill, again, is a pretty good one. So you've got 3 good ones, 1 bad one. You know what that means? It's time to get some really schlocky ones. Next one, Santa Claus. Claus, C-L-A-W-S. Yeah, that... So anyways, quick recap of the, where we're at right now. Jack Frost, schlocky. If you like schlocky and you feel like doing like Mystery Science Theater 3000 and get some people together, watch it and just tear it apart. Right up your alley. Wind Chill, actually pretty good. Gremlins, classic. Black Christmas remake, actually not bad. Coming up next, Santa Claus. I'd almost rather be watching the Tim Allen versions of Santa Claus than this one. Till next time.